Let go of the past. Be in the present. The best thing that you can do to stop worrying about the problems that have been affecting you is to let go of the past. Something happened, something terrible happened. Maybe your relationship went wrong. Maybe you became lonely, or you may have lost your business, your career. You may have failed many times. Whatever the past that is causing you the pain, the first thing is to let them go. Let them go. If they don't serve you any purpose toward your future destination, if they don't help you to find the solutions for the problems, if they don't make you feel good, feel happy, feel the vibe, let them go. And it's difficult to let the past reside wherever they are. It is difficult because our memories, past is our identity. And if the past has lots of negative experiences, now your identity correlates with that negative experience. And many people, when they find that their identity is correlated with a negative experience, as a failure, as a lonely person, as a depressed, abandoned person, then they tended to stick back, trying to fix what happened there. And the thing is, you can never fix that. Whatever has happened, it happened, and now you cannot go back and fix it. The only thing is, this is the moment. Seize the moment. This is the moment. You can, if you want to do anything, do here, in the now. Because any change that you want to build, any kinds of changes, transformation that you want to bring into your life, must start from here and in the now, when you're conscious of the now. Because you can never fix what happened. What happened is past. It's right there, back. It's rotting. And you can't do anything. You can't just go back there and do anything because it just passed. Now, they are only existing in your memory. And they don't serve any purpose unless they have something to teach you. And this is something that I always have done. When I find that something has gone wrong, when I find that something is terribly wrong, what immediately I do is I look back and try to find out what is it that I need to take from that mistake, from that failing. Most of the times I have committed a lot of mistakes. Foolishness. I was foolish. Sometimes I did things that I had it regretted. But the thing is, I never stayed back in that past, because that doesn't exist anymore. It's in my memory, flashes of memory, and they are the only one that I have now. And if you want to build the kind of life that you still have in your heart, if you want to build the dream career, dream life, your dream business, the only one thing is you can only start from here, from this moment. Of course, the past is really valuable, but it's only valuable when it can teach you something. So when something happens, when something goes wrong, look at your past life, look at what happened, and take that lesson, that very valuable thing, that failure, that mistake, or that problem has there for you. Many times, I found myself that I had made the biggest blunder in my life. And when I did that, it was devastating, disappointing to find yourself at the wrong place. And when you find yourself at the wrong place, it's not, most people, they often try to give explanations, reasons, excuses to tell others why they happen to be there at the wrong side, instead of trying to figure out where exactly they are and trying to find the right stand, the right path. And it's something that I learned through my mistakes. I committed mistake. I committed, lots of foolish mistakes. And when I didn't stand right where I should have, right there. And I tried to find reason with the facts. I never did that because I knew I was wrong. And the thing that I did was I admitted the thing that I did, and then I moved away from there. Once I admitted, the thing that I had done, the mistake I had committed, now my ego is gone. It no longer exists there. And if you can, just remove that ego for some times and just admit that I have done something wrong. When you admit that, and it's okay to admit that, and when you admit that, you become humble, and you realize that you're not a perfect being, you're not a perfect person. Maybe you are a leader for many people. Maybe you are a good manager, a good CEO, a good philanthropist, a good humanitarian. So what? We are humans and we make mistakes. We make mistakes. And when you commit a mistake, instead of trying to find the excuses why you happen to be there, say that you did a mistake. Say that you committed a mistake. And once you admit that you have made a mistake, be humble. Everyone does make mistakes. We are not gods, we are human beings. And when you are vulnerable, admitting that you have done a mistake, you will learn the quality of being humble. And it's good to be humble, to have that humility. It's good to tell others, you have done a mistake and you're sorry. And once you have done that, the next thing is look at the mistake. Look at the mistakes. Find what is the thing that you want to learn. What is it? And that is a crucial lesson. And people who try to reason with their mistake, they always miss that lesson. And when that happens, once they pass the mistakes and go ahead with their lives, the problem is they keep committing the same mistake because the first time that mistake has happened because there was something that the person has to learn, but he hasn't taken that lesson when he passed that, when he crossed that. And this is one of the reasons why humility matters, why humbleness matters. When you admit that you have done a mistake, now you can look back at your mistake and learn something from it, and you can take the next step. And that will help you. This the learning, the lesson from your mistake, from your failure, from your foolishness, that will help you to take the next step. And when you're walking, and when others, your followers, maybe it's your own people, when they make mistakes, you can be a mentor right there. You can tell them, and help them to come out of their misery, come out of that problem. And this is what great leaders, great gurus do. So acknowledge you have done a mistake. Acknowledge your past. They exist. They existed once, but no longer. It doesn't have any purpose. It doesn't serve any purpose in the now. The only thing that it serves is the lessons that it has to offer. So look back at your past life and take every lesson, every valuable lesson it has to offer, and walk further. And this is the meaning of letting the past go. You don't forget it, but you're not carrying all the failures, all the pains, all the all the miseries behind you. You're not carrying them anymore. They happened. Now you learned something from it. Put it there. Take the next step. You're free now. There is a cliche, there is a saying in English. Everything that happens for a reason. And I don't think that that it's absolutely correct, but that phrase can be best used when it comes to your past life. Something happened, and it happened for a reason. Something has caused it, and the best thing now we can do is to look at that past event, take the necessary lesson, take the necessary learning from it, go further, move further. And today, if I want to tell you, teach you anything, this is the lesson I want to give you. Look at your past life, the mistake you have committed, the bad relationship that you had. It might have broken your heart, may have taught you lots of lessons, may have dragged you from where you were to where you are now. It happened. You happened to be there. Accept that past incident. Maybe you have committed a crime. Now maybe you are regretting about it. It's okay. It happened. Because all the choices, all the decisions that you have made so far has made you to do that, and it has happened. And now there is nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is to look at your past life, take the lesson, move ahead. Maybe you're in a bad financial condition. And you may have decided to, quit whatever that you've been doing. And my advice is this. Take a look at your past life. How you have made all the decisions and how you have reached so far. Look at it. Take the lesson. Let go of the past. Do not take those failures, those problems that happened in the past with you as you walk ahead, because you have miles to go. And it's always better when you walk with a light heart. And in order to happen, you'd better walk with all the lessons instead of carrying the problems with you. Let go of the past. Let that past incidents, those failures, let them do not define your life but refine you. Let them refine your life. Usually when I take this journey toward greatness, in my sections and workshop, I usually tell people to meditate about everything that has happened for you, taking each incident. And it has tremendously helped me to do so, taking each incident and weighing it, and then taking the lesson from each of them. For a moment it might hurt you, but it's okay, because now you are just weighing each of the incidents and taking the valuable lesson and just letting that past incident be right there. And I'd like you to do the same. You can find an empty room where you can be yourself and then meditate on each of the incidents and take each lessons from each of those incidents and leave those incidents right there. Detach yourself from it and move further with all those lessons. Let go of the past. Now, once you finish your meditation, the next thing that you have to do is to find out your destination. Now you know where you are in your life. Lots of things have happened. Things have gone wrong. Now you have learned to let them go. Now it's your turn to move ahead. But where are you going? Where are you heading to? When I started my journey, I didn't have a clear destination, but I knew that I had a destination, and I struggled with it. Sometimes it's difficult to figure out, what exactly this life is about, the meaning and existence and purpose. But the thing is, once you find out the meaning, the purpose, once you find out exactly where you are heading, the thing is, your journey becomes much, much easier. So I encourage you to note it down. where exactly I am heading, so that you will know that in 2025 you will have completed 5 milestones toward your goal, toward your destination, so that you will have a clear picture, how many miles you will have finished by the end of 2030. So it's always better to have a destination, because if you don't have one, you will never reach anywhere. Now, when you take your mobile phone, your Google map to find where it's, to find the path toward a destination, the first thing that it asks is, where are you at the moment? Because that question is important, and we have looked at it. Once you have figured out where exactly you are, and then the next thing that you can do is to set the course, set a destination. So find out the destination. So you know where you are, you know what happened, and you have let them go. Now you need to think about your future, the destination, the place where you want to go, the things that you want to do with your life. Now, I asked this question myself when I started to write my my third chapter of my book, The 100 Days to Greatness. Where am I heading? The why of everything. And I asked myself several questions. Where exactly am I heading? Am I going to the destination that I have set myself years back? And that in turn, that question in turn helped me to define my path more clearly. Every time you ask yourself these questions, where am I heading, you get a more clearer, a more defining path. Because the future, it's always somewhat blur. You don't know what exactly will happen, but you have a destination. You maybe want to influence people, maybe want to start a business, influence a community, maybe an organization, maybe a nation, or a whole world. But what exactly you want to contribute to your society, to this civilization with your life? What is it? What is the why of your existence? And if you have that answer, now you can start moving ahead. But before that, you need to have a clear destination. Before you start a business, start a career, start a course, this is the one of the best questions that you can ask yourself. What is it that I want out of my life? What is it that I want to do with my life? What is it that I want to contribute? Who am I here in this family, in this relationship, in this community, in this organization? Who am I? And that, that understanding of who you are will help you to set a clear destination. Who do you want to be to that organization? And that's your destination. Who do you want to be to that community? And that's your destination. Who do you want to be to your relationship? What is it? What is that defining thing for your life? When I was reading the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey took me to a complete different journey. And in one of the chapters, he narrated this. He asked his audience, his readers, to imagine that you were in a coffin. And it's a beautiful scenario. And he asked every audience, every reader to imagine as if he were in a coffin, in his deathbed. And imagine the people that you were surrounded with. And imagine, what would each of the person say about you? What is it? Now, does that resonate with who you are? Does what that person has to say, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your family member, maybe it's your community member, maybe it's your employee, does that person, or whatever that person has to offer, has to say about you, does that resonate with who you are and where you're heading? If it doesn't, reconsider your core values and principle and where you are heading. Reconsider it. If they're standing there, and imagine, if they would be happy because you have lost this world, because you were burdened to that person. Now, this might be a little difficult for you to imagine, but just imagine, what exactly would that person speak about you? It's okay to be in that uncomfortable situation for a moment, because you are taking a lifelong journey, influencing millions of people through your communication, through your behavior, through how you interact with each of these people. You're leaving a piece of you each time you meet a person, each time you speak something in front of a public, each time you ask your community to follow you, you leave a small piece of you right there with that people, and you influence them. You influence their choices, their decisions. Now let me ask yourself this question again. Where are you heading? And who you are at your core, does that resonate with your destination, with where you're heading? If it doesn't, ask yourself again, where am I heading? It's okay. It's okay if you don't know where you're heading. It's okay if you have no idea about what happened. It's okay if you have taken the wrong path. It's okay. It's okay. But once you realize it, once you realize that you are on the wrong track, the next immediate thing that you can do is to acknowledge that you are at the wrong path, and then move toward the right path, because you know it. You know right here. You know where exactly you're going. You know exactly what you want to do. You know exactly what you want to contribute to that community. And my question is, are you heading to the right destination? It's okay if you haven't set a destination. It's okay. Because, at the age of 21st, I was nowhere. I had no ambitions. I had no goals. There was nothing you could say that. I didn't even think about the meaning of my life. I was just existing right there. I was there, and I wasn't anybody to anyone. And it was devastating to think about that. At some point of your life, you're nobody to anyone. And to realize that fact as a fact, it's painful. But what you can do is realize where you are at the moment, and now leave the past, set a destination. And when you set a destination, ask yourself where exactly you want to head it to, where exactly you want to reach. What is the exact place, the exact destination that you have? I think when I started my journey, I was a cleaner. I used to wash buses. And one day I was washing the bus, a man walked up to me and he stood by me and he asked me why I was doing that pathetic job. And I was a little ashamed at myself, and I didn't say anything. But that day, I said this in my mind: one day, I would be somebody. One day, I would contribute something to my society, to my people, and people would be proud of me. And this is something that I said to myself. I still remember, the smile that I had in my mind. I was determined, but like everyone else, I had a blurred vision of the future. I didn't have a clear set of future. I knew I wanted to be somebody. I knew I could be somebody, and I wanted to give something back to society. But my future was blurred. So when you start your journey, your future may be blurred. You may not have a clear vision of the future. But here is something you can do. You can work on it. You can experiment. If you're younger, if you were 18, 20, 21, experiment with your life. Expose yourself to different myriads of life possibilities. There are millions of possibilities. You can volunteer to do anything. And when you do that, when you expose yourself to different possibilities, you also taste different experiences that in turn help you to find out, identify what exactly you want to do with your life. Because at some point of your life, you realize, this is it. This is something that I wanted to do. This is something that actually my heart resonates with. And when you feel that, note it down. Now, this is not just a one-day process. It might take some time. And when you just note it down, your destination, maybe it's a blurred destination, but when you note it down, you set a course for the future and you start walk toward it. And the thing is, as you walk toward it, you see different possibilities. And you expose yourself all these possibilities, and you will also learn a lot of things. And through those learnings, you will discover more about yourself and the path that lie ahead. And you will also learn more about that path and the destination. And that's how you refine your destination. And that's how you get a clear picture of the destination. Not everyone will get the exact picture where exactly I want to go when they start the journey. But the thing is, it becomes more refined as you take each of the step. And my advice is, if you're not sure where you want to start, if you're not sure how you want to start, the immediate thing that you can do is to expose yourself to different possibilities. Start doing some volunteers. Maybe, your heart says, okay, let me go there and help that person. Okay, go help that person. Or your heart may say, let me do this for some time. Okay, go do it. And if you think that, it's not something that you really, really want to do with the rest of your life, okay, leave it there. Find something else. And that's how you do. That's how you expose yourself to different, experiences, to different possibilities. And once you let yourself to be in different circumstances, you learn from it. And you will also learn how your heart resonates with each of those events, each of those experiences, possibilities. And on the path to greatness, you will learn to refine that path. So if you don't know where you're going, where you're heading, it's okay. But still, you can just note it down, a blurred vision of the future. And if you're clear, that's absolutely amazing. If you're clear about your future, this is what I want to do, this is my life, this is what exactly I want to contribute to my community, and this is what I want to do with my business. If you have a clear destination, now take the next step. But still, it's always better to refine, to relook, to look at that destination once again, to understand if you're going through, toward that destination, or to ask yourself if that is the only destination you can take, or is there any other one that you are meant to take. So set a destination. Find out exactly where you're going, what you want to do with your life. This is your life. I don't know if you will be alive after 5 years or 10 years. I don't know if I were alive tomorrow or day after tomorrow or next week or maybe in the future. And the only thing that I know is that I'm alive today. And I know where I am going today. And when you're certain about that, it's much easier to take the next step. So I ask each one of you to look at your personal life, that social career life. Weigh that life. Ask yourself if each of your life, your personal life, your relationship, your family life, does that personal life resonate with what's here? Your values, your principles. Does that resonate with who you are at core? And then take a social life, your social life. Does that social life resonate with who you are here? And your spiritual and career life. Take them each one at a time. Ask yourself whether that life that I'm leading today resonate with what I am doing today. I don't know what exactly you get. Sometimes you get no answers, and it's okay. It's okay. And if you get answer, that's really good. But it's also okay if you don't have any answers. But just simply look at yourself and ask yourself this: does my present life resonate with who I am and where I am heading? If it isn't, reconsider where you're going now. And ask yourself where exactly you're going. Do you have a destination? If you don't have one, set at least something that you can see today and move toward that destination. And as you go toward it, you might also discover something else, something amazing, and rewrite that destination. And that's how life is. When I started my journey, I told you about my life story at the beginning. I was watching the bus when this man came to me and he asked me. So when I had a blood division, it was really blood division. I had a barely, just some idea. I could say it's not full. It's almost, just to have I just had an idea where I was heading, but I had no idea what this is all about. So I had a very blurred vision. When I started to move toward it, and things began to change. And that blurred vision began to become much clearer as I take that step. So it's necessary to have a destination. It's necessary. Ask yourself, what is it that I want to do with my life? Where am I going? And is that destination currently I'm taking, does that resonate with my heart, with my values, with my principles? And then move ahead. And once you set your goal, once you set your destination, the next thing is, that you need to do is to take out your long cherished dreams. Start your course towards that, towards accomplishing those dreams. Move toward it. This won't be an easy journey, but I can assure you one thing, that this will be an amazing journey, a journey that you will never ever regret. So take this journey and you will never ever regret. And I remember this poem by Robert Frost. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And may your journey be a fulfilling one. And I wish you my best wishes, prayers, and a blissful journey ahead. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.